Hey, what's up everybody? So we're doing a small scale rendition of the conservation ag burn, which the University of California has shown to reduce air pollution by about 85 or 75 to 85%, which is really amazing. Traditionally, it's still an open burn that would be done in agriculture. It's just a different way of stacking the materials, and burning from the top down is the key to reducing the pollution. And so what we're doing here is a small scale version of that. This is a little bit different than my conventional recipe, just because of materials on hand. So the ultimate goal though is to ensure that the entire top is evenly burning downward, and that will ensure that the smoke is not being emitted. Because if you have even fire throughout the top, the smoke will travel into that fire and burn cleanly, and actually the smoke is acting as a fuel now, further heating the woody biomass below that. And so we're basically using the excess, we're creating excess heat, we're extracting those gases, and we're burning it cleanly. Of course, the end result is making biochar.
And what does one use biochar for?
There's a variety of things. So when we say biochar, generally we're talking about a charcoal that we're going to put in the soil. That biology is going to act like an ecosystem within that. Imagine the biochar is much like a coral reef. So the coral reef is the habitat, the home, and then the biology is going within it, interacting, because food, water, oxygen, all these things are being stored within the pore spaces of that charcoal. But actually right now, this pile is actually being made to make some toothpaste essentially. I literally just chew charcoal, scrub with it, and it's the best homemade toothpaste I found. Charcoal, and you can put it in some sort of grating type material or like a straining material, and then you can rinse some of that dirt off. I wouldn't be too concerned unless it was in a heavy area where the soil was heavily applied chemicals. Then I would be more concerned. But that's me again. I'm not too afraid of eating a little bit of dirt. I would rinse it first though. And another thing that you could do too is also, just instead of scooping all that charcoal, is you can take that top layer off, and knowing it's a lot cleaner, and just use that for consumption, use that bottom layer for your soil, which you don't even have to rinse the dirt off. I mean, no matter what, you are going to be rinsing this charcoal in the end to ensure it goes out. That's another important factor, is that we want to ensure that it completely goes out and it doesn't just recombust or reignite after the fact in an unmaintenanced manner, because that would be really bad.
Can you turn around?
So if you want to get a close-up, you can see that we almost have entire white ash over the top.
Okay.
And so that's what we're looking for. We could even let it get a little bit whiter. You just don't want to let it go too long, because then you can end up allowing that charcoal to burn and be lost. And we're trying to capture a lot of that charcoal. So we're gonna put it out now. So this is vapor right here. It's obviously it's not smoke. The water is obviously getting superheated right now, and it feels good. I'm almost getting like a facial. Yeah, that's ultimately the idea. Is you just want to wet it at the correct time, so that you've ensured that the biomass, the wood, has 100% turned into charcoal. You don't want to break it open and there could be wood inside, especially if you're gonna be brushing your teeth or something with it. Again, you want to catch it before that charcoal starts being converted into ash. So when you have about 95, like a high percentage of white ash covering the top, it doesn't mean everything is ash. It just means the outside, the surface area, is covered in ash, and you want to wet it down at that point. And wet it thoroughly. Give me the bud stuff.
Bum, ba-da-bum.
You can actually put 10% to 20% charcoal in. I would recommend staying more in the 10%, because there has been a few instances, like I've seen a cannabis trial where at 20% its terpene levels dropped a little bit, but that wasn't across the board. Actually, majority of the cannabis actually did better. But that being said, if we're talking about general, 10, maybe 15%, I've only seen benefits for every plant so far. And yeah, so 10-15% by volume mixed into your plant, planter bed, your pot, your soil mix that you're putting. A lot of, even if you're planting a tree in just dirt, you can add the charcoal into that dirt by, again, 10-15%. I do like to add actually some additional amendments, some organic amendments to some sort of compost or something. But yeah, that's the idea, that's how to use it. Microgreen bed essentially.
Wow.
Like this. I mean, this is all straight salad right here. This is Austrian winter peas. The greens are known for having extremely just sweet. They're sweet, typically a snow pea pod is very sweet. The leaves of the Austrian pea plant are also pretty dang sweet, so it's one of the greatest greens. So you can have as much of this as you want, seriously.
These are gorgeous.
Yeah, those are fava beans. These are kind of like space takers right now. We haven't really actually planted what we want. We need to get some more shade-loving crops in here. We're thinking about even doing some subtropical stuff, because generally this area is almost always covered in shade. But for now, it's just good to have roots in the ground, keep the soil biology going. Basically, these plant leaves are, well, in general, the plant is using the sunlight, the water, the air, and it's creating carbohydrates, and then it's putting them into the soil. So it's constantly feeding the soil as long as the plant's alive. And so we want to feed the soil to keep the soil biology numbers up, keep the ecosystem running. And so that's essentially what we're doing until we transition this space. Pretty much we've grown crops all winter long with no water.
No way.
Other than natural, yeah.
No.
Everything you see here has never been watered. Tons of biochar. So, I mean, we've had less rain this year, and we have abundance. Like, literally, we can't pick it fast enough. We've just been giving it away and sharing it, but we can water anything. Sorry, I'm just munching our abundance right now. So tasty. You don't have to do anything. The soil is what keeps the water. I mean, there's probably not a lot of water because we haven't watered. Let's see. Oh, look at, I mean, just put your hand in here. It's still wet.
It's still really wet.
Yeah, I haven't watered it ever.
What?
I mean, other than summertime, we stopped watering, I think.
We haven't had rain in weeks.
Yeah, we don't need rain. We have so much. I mean, look at see all the charcoal in here?
I'm tripping out. That's miraculous.
That's the biology too. The biology, think about it this way. You are a living body of water. So if your focus is to raise the numbers of the biology in the soil, what you're really doing is you're raising the numbers of bodies that carry a volume of water. And ultimately, those organisms like water, so as they die and excrete water, other organisms consume the water or the plant uptakes it. So instead of water being evaporated off from the system, it's constantly self-renewed within the system. So we don't have to water. Yeah, that's awesome, right? Yeah. Yeah, we got new cilantro volunteers. We didn't water them. They just came out of nowhere. What's up, Diggs? What's up?